Hello, and welcome to Season 2, Race 2 of my F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. We are here in Shanghai for the Chinese Grand Prix. Of course, first time we're doing China in our career mode on the calendar. And we just barely qualified on pole. Charles Leclerc is in second. Yuki Tsunoda third. And mix of McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, excuse me, Jack Aiken in the other Mercedes qualified P11, so not the best starting spot for him. And our teammate qualified P17. Not terrible, could be better, but I digress. We will advance and make some upgrade decisions before we move forward.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Alright, gonna take a quick break here before I continue. So, I will be right back. Okay, ready to get going again. Rain possible for the end of the race, so we'll see how that goes. In terms of what upgrade I was going to go for. I wanted to sort of base it off of where our biggest area of need is. And for me, from what I can see, that is the durability, not durability, the arrow. So, we'll purchase this rear wing upper flap. That'll be our next upgrade to come in. Well, not the next one, but the latest one. We do have a long time until the next race. I'll be very curious to see. I'm expecting a failure. Whether we get one remains to be seen, but yeah, so let's go to the Chinese Grand Prix.
It's time again then for Formula One in Shanghai. Northwest of this thriving city of over 24 million people is a circuit that first featured in the championship calendar back in 2004. And of course played host to Formula One's 1000th World Championship event in 2019. We're here in the Yangtze River Delta today, home of the 16 corners that make up the Shanghai International Circuit. 54% of this 3.3-mile lap is taken at full throttle, and we'll be getting up to speeds of around 200 miles an hour, with DRS assisting the cars down the back straight before they brake into the sharp hairpin at turn 14.
No extra commentary, I guess. This is a bit awkward, but okay.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. It's the owner-driver in pole position then, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, and Sainz, Perez, Mick Schumacher, Bottas, and Pierre Gasly, Aitken, Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel, and Stroll, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Christian Lundgaard, and Guan Yu Zhou, Eilert, Russell, Mazepin, and Nicholas Latifi, which...
Alright.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Of course, as you'll recall from previous games, China is a very interesting race where the tire fall off on the softs is very, very massive. So the advantage is really for everyone on the outside of the top 10 who's starting on the medium tire, which first of those is Jack Aitken. So should be interesting to see how the race unfolds. In that regard, I mean, I guess in theory we could pull off a one stop by going soft to hard. With the rain potentially at the end of the race, it could be interesting. So if only I was better at starts.
Launch map is good, but we need to learn the gears, so go into each one when you can. We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please.
Yeah, for whatever reason, starts for me on this game just don't go well. haven't really sussed out what the reason is, but
Okay, here's who we're really fighting today. Leclerc and Tsunoda. No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
oh, Leclerc ghosting through me, and Tsunoda ghosting through me. They're all ghosting through me. I wish it wouldn't do that, but it is going to do that, so there's nothing really much I can do about it. So, this will be a game of how bad is our start, and how can we rebound after
Keep an eye on the lights.
after said start.
Sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Alright, waiting for the last cars to form up on the grid. And here we go. 5 red lights for the Chinese Grand Prix at Shanghai. We're underway. Actually, it's a decent start, relatively decent. And notice for some reason I keep going wide in turn 1. I just need to use a little more brake, but what I was saying is that the start was not as bad as I would have anticipated. I mean, yes, we did get beat by Leclerc, but other than that... Oh, and there goes Lando Norris off the track. That was unintentional, but we're gonna have to keep going. Ricardo did not get a good run off that corner. And that whole run was just not good. Yeah, I guess my results in China in the past have been mixed. Sometimes I've gone well here, sometimes I haven't. Also sort of depends on how the strategy plays out and where I've started. hoping to use our car's superior, or I guess relatively superior, straight line speed to our advantage. I feel like Sector 2 is going to be our problem spot in terms of losing time to the car in front. Right there, I turned in a little too early for that left-hander. See, what's funny is that it should be a flat-out corner. I'm having to lift off, so I'm going wide in both portions of the corner, which doesn't make a ton of sense, but this is unfortunately the hand I'm dealt, so I'm gonna have to deal with it. Unfortunately, we are going to be under attack from Ricardo here momentarily once DRS comes into play.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Doing our mid-session save. Now, to my surprise, we've actually kept pretty close. I guess relatively close to Leclerc. In other words, I guess I should. What I'm trying to say.
Push hard on the in-lap.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm surprised that we have been able to keep close with Leclerc. By close, I mean I thought he would have waltzed away into the distance, and he sort of is. But he also sort of isn't at the same time. I mean, he's over 2 seconds ahead. The gap is slowly increasing.
Gap to teammate behind is 13.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 15th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 38.3.
And basically, I want to see what happens when us drivers on the soft tires pit and get stuck in traffic. So I want to. I guess be sure that Leclerc is going to be in a position where he will be, or where I guess where we'll all be, stuck in traffic. I'm very intrigued to see how that plays out as I continue to have problems with this corner. Which should be flat freaking out, but I'm forced to lift every single time, which is not ideal. See, we're able to gain a ton of time, relatively speaking, on Leclerc, particularly down this long back straight. So our pit window is currently open. Uh-oh.
They're in 12th. The gap is 8.4 seconds. The time last lap was a 1:37.0.
Somebody's got a problem back there.
Okay, clear.
It's one of the AlphaTauris. Pierre Gasly out of the race. I saw the yellow flag, so I wasn't sure who it was for. I think this might be the second straight engine failure for Pierre Gasly. I could have swore he was the one who retired out of the race in Bahrain. So this could be a second straight power unit failure for Gasly. See the smoke pouring from his car as he pulls off to the side. And his day is over.
We're leading our teammate by 15.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 14th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 38.1.
Claire continues to carry forward. So we will as well. I have no idea when he's going to pit at this rate.
Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive. Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap. Copy that. Hearts for next box.
We need another yellow flag back there. Let's see who that was for. Oh, there was a spin. One of the Alpines went around. Was Fernando Alonso, who subsequently held up Sebastian Vettel. It looks like he just lost it.
They're in 12th. The gap is 18.4 seconds. The time last lap was a 1:37.3. Complete. Go now.
Alright, we don't get held up too much in the pits, which is good.
Now, let's get some heat into those tires.
Oh, got hit by Guan Yu Zhou.
Pit strategy complete. See these tires through to the end now.
So Leclerc got stuck in traffic, but not as much traffic as we did. Fortunately, we should be able to make quick work of them. Battling with Callum Islet.
Gap to teammate ahead is 2.1 seconds.
Because Joe and Isla are going to hold up Ricardo, which is exactly what I want to see. So Alonso's spin really sort of screwed up what could have happened to us there, because now less cars who started on mediums are ahead of Leclerc. Alonso locks up the tires big time. Getting along straight. DRS. Alonso is closing in on Giovinazzi. Alonso's going to go. Fred, what are you doing? Fred, Nando, Alonso, what are you doing? Well, that dive bomb sort of worked. Let's take a look. So, Alonso walks to the right, I go to the left. I pass him, I pass Giovinazzi. I technically passed my teammate, but not quite really. Excuse me. DRS here on my teammate, which is honestly what I was waiting for. Uh-oh, something's happened behind us. Antonio Giovinazzi's out of the race. Was that an engine failure? Must have been. Or no, he crashed. Giovinazzi had a big crash. So he's trying to hold off Yuki Tsunoda, overcorrected, and bam, into the inside wall. Big crash for Tsunoda. Not Tsunoda, Giovinazzi. And they were both twitching. We see from Guan Yu Zhou. The accident that wipes both of them out.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful. Our gap to the car in front is 4.2 seconds.
I'm honestly surprised that we're not getting a safety car for that crash.
We're sat in 6th. Leclerc ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 4.3 seconds. They're on fresh hards. Christian behind. Our gap behind is 2.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. Our gap to first place is 15.9 seconds. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 17 laps to go. Radar is clear. Weather is looking good for now. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. Gap to teammate behind is 3.0 seconds. Christian is in the pits. Christian in the pits. to car in front is 2.3 seconds.
Everyone else pits. And we are back to P2. Oh man, this is turning out just like Australia. Close, so close to the car in front, but not close enough to get DRS.
We think we may see some rain. ETA is about 15 minutes. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Yeah, at this point it's just doing the best we can until we get to the finish, or we get to the rain.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes' time. Rain in 10 minutes.
Lando Norris just set the fastest lap of the race. Latifi's out of the race. Must have been an engine failure on his car.
Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
I just had to take a little bit of frustration there just to try to get through this corner. Which I seemingly can't do. So I get it perfect, and then I screw it up. Now that is how you take that corner, right there. Excellent.
Yellow flag. Okay, clear. We're only 2 seconds behind the car ahead. Keep pushing.
Right now, I'm just sort of stuck in this 2-second bubble. I can't seem to break. Which is fine, I got no problem finishing second, but obviously I prefer to be, you know, a little bit closer to my team, to Leclerc.
We're leading our teammate by 36.7 seconds.
Meanwhile, I'm surprised that Yuki Tsunoda has been able to hold on to third place. Considering that he doesn't have DRS. while Ricardo does. I guess that maybe speaks to Sonoda's power unit being far superior in a straight line.
We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Alright. Unfortunately, the back half of this race is a little bit on the boring side, but yeah, don't really know what else I can say. I mean,
Expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
I don't think we're going to get that rain in time to change onto intermediates. Based on the timing. So, and we're obviously losing touch to Leclerc. So yeah, I don't really know what else I can really do at this point, other than just hold steady and bring home the points.
lost some time to the car behind.
I always forget that China is such a long race, or at least it feels like such a long race. Should be noted that since my victory in the... what race was it? I guess it must have been the USA Grand Prix. Since I won...
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
Alright, okay, I'll put it this way. The way I'll put it here is a little bit better. So, since I DNF'd in Japan in Season 1, every race I've done since then, I've either finished first or second. I won 4 out of the last 5 races in Season 1, and the one race I didn't win, I finished second. And this is looking like another day where obviously I won the season opener in Bahrain, and if things stay as they are, I'm going to finish second to Charles Leclerc.
The rain is a few laps out yet, but it is coming. Be careful. Dries seem like the best tyre for now. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. Gap
So
to
somehow-
teammate behind is 46.8 seconds.
Somehow I just set a purple third sector. I don't even know how I managed that.
Leclerc is ahead of you. The gap to the...
Oh.
Leclerc ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 2.5 seconds. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 17 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:35.8. You're gaining by 1/10 a lap. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. We don't think it's going to stay dry for much longer. The rain could come at any moment. Watch out.
Well, it really doesn't matter at this point. We're on the
You're losing
penultimate
a
lap
small
of the
amount
race.
Time to the car behind. Keep pushing. This is your final lap of the race.
Final lap of the Grand Prix. And now the rain has just started to fall, but it's too little too late in terms of changing tires to something else, to the wet weather tires. And Charles Leclerc, I did not believe Ferrari won a single race in Season 1. But Leclerc is going to change that right out of the gate in Season 2 as he wins the Chinese Grand Prix. And we take home 2nd place.
Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
Esteban Ocon gets driver of the day.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix. And they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
So it's basically the same podium as last time out, but the positions are totally swapped. So in Bahrain, I won, Tsunoda was 2nd, and Leclerc was 3rd. This time Leclerc won, I was 2nd, and Tsunoda was 3rd. So same podium, but completely different spots.
Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Let's give it to Esteban Ocon. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So there you have it. That was the Chinese Grand Prix constructor standings. Close to the top. Only 5 points separate the top 3. Ferrari, Rockstar Energy Racing, and Mercedes. Driver standings. We still lead by only 4 points over Charles Leclerc. And yeah, Pierre Gasly at the bottom. So he started off the season with 2 DNFs. Which is not good for him. Not good for AlphaTauri. So there you go with that.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. You must be thrilled to be up on the podium. You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? Do you have any comments about the collisions? Great. Well, that's everything.
Continue to absolutely trounce Sebastian Vettel in the rivalry. 12-5. Should be well on our way to getting that. meet all our sponsorship goals. No damage deductions. Everything looking good.
The team's income is looking very robust right now. It's time for you to have a think about our profit margin and what areas of the operation might benefit from that money.
Alright, let's look at the R&D. So, powertrain durability could use a boost. Sponsor in-depth factory tour. Oh, I thought that was resource points. I got a little excited there, but not the case. Take that. It follows up the calendar quite nicely. And we'll just have to wait and see which parts go through and which parts do not. Oh, we have one. We have two. Everything failing. Wow.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control.
I'll say,
We need
pretty
to
much
tell the
all of
team
them
what
failed.
to develop via the R&D screen.
Fortunately, easy to take care of. I'll wait on this one to see what comes out of the break. Oh, chassis department event.
Could you take a look at this for us, please?
Okay. An internal audit of the chassis department has brought to light poorly allocated funds that could be used elsewhere in the department to improve productivity. Alternatively, we could relocate these funds for our R&D. So essentially what it's asking here we could get a discount on the so essentially we can get a 10% discount on this item, or we can get 375 resource points. And I'm feeling tempted. Honestly, I think I'm tempted to just take the resource
You handled
points.
that well. Thank you.
So what I'll do is I'll go back into facilities. I'll go to R&D, and I will get this durability upgrade in the car. Just take care of that.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
So thankfully that major aero upgrade did come in with no issue. So Ferrari are the third best engine, by the way. Figured I should mention that. We're middle of the road on the chassis side. Aero, we're gonna pick up a little bit. Still behind everyone else, but not terrible. With those latest upgrades, we're actually jumping off Atari, which is nice to see. I think before I go into the next race, I'll purchase this diffuser upgrade, which should come in for after Monaco. So there you go. More aero upgrades coming in on the car. And I think we'll close out by purchasing another upgrade to the personnel suite. So that'll come in, I believe, before Monaco. And just to confirm, yes, Pierre Gasly started off with 2 DNFs in first races, which is not good for him. Not good for him. But anyway, that is the Spanish Grand Prix is next. We finished the Chinese Grand Prix. We're going to the Spanish Grand Prix next. So there you go.